Hey guys, welcome back to part 6 of Invincible. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm seeing the comments and the likes and I appreciate that. Make sure you guys keep that up. It really helps the channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Issue 6. You see on this page, Mark and William are hiding from a robot, and Mark is saying, "Sit tight, William. I think we lost it." Then we jump to Omni-Man and Invincible floating in the air. As Omni-Man is throwing a baseball in the opposite direction of Invincible, we can see that they're both wearing baseball mittens. I think they're playing catch. Oh, you know what? I remember this from the show. They're playing catch, and Omni-Man's throwing it around the globe back to Invincible. So Omni-Man starts off with saying, "No, actually, in the time it took us to leave the battle site in Saudi Arabia and save those people at the mall, they devised a way to track us and built a device to dampen our powers. So, as soon as they put that thing on my head, I was powerless. That's when they pulled me in the portal so easily. That's how they pulled me into the portal so easily. I can't figure out how time works for them. For all I know, they could be from a non-linear dimension. I have no clue how long I was there. I always round down. I think it makes your mother feel better." But that's not what you wanted to talk about. I hear that right after they pulled me into the portal, you called out for me. Yeah? So? You called me Dad at the top of your lungs. Oh geez, I never even realized. Is that bad? It could have been. When I was with the Guardians of the Globe yesterday, Darkwing told me he caught it on the news in a few countries, but he said all they had was eyewitness accounts, no footage. Still, you've been on the news once or twice. People know your name. You may soon run into a few of my villains trying to get at me. Heads up. I'll be ready for them as he catches the ball that Omni-Man threw. When is William supposed to be here? Oh crap, what time is it? Almost noon. Isn't your appointment with Upstate University at 1? Yep, he's going to be here any minute. They both fly down into the house, and as Invincible's mother is sitting in the dining room, she gets a gust of wind, knocking away her paper that she was reading. And she yells, "Hey, no flying in the house. How many times do I have to tell you to?" Just then, William knocks at the door. Mark answers and says, William says, "Sorry, Hey, William, you ready?" "Let's hit the road," William says. "Drive carefully," says his mother. "Oop, I forgot something. I'll be right back." Mark runs back in the house and his mother says, "Excuse me?" And Mark flies up into the air and catches the baseball that was thrown earlier. It looks like they threw it again at some point. Oh yeah, he did throw it again. Sorry, forgot my wallet. Bye, we won't be back too late, I promise. Nolan then says, alone at last, as he closes the front door. And Debbie says, for now, don't you have somewhere you need to be? Nolan says, not today. You mean, yep, I'm taking the day off. The Guardians of the Globe are covering for me. Oh, Nolan, I'll race you upstairs. And he whooshes away. And Debbie says, now that's hardly fair. And then just then he comes back and picks her up and she's like, oh. And he says, oh, never mind. Come on. And he whooshes again back upstairs. At the team's lookout, Robot is talking, saying, I suppose you're all wondering why I called you here. If there is one thing I have learned in my life thus far, it's that things change. I remember almost 4 years ago when we started to work together, how new and exciting things were, how different we all were back then. We were young and reckless. We weren't quite as effective as we are now. Things changed, and now it looks like we're in for another one. I have been invited to try out for the Guardians of the Globe. Eve jumps forward and says, oh, Robot, that's great. Rex says, yeah, man, well done. I'm sure you'll really turn some heads. Robot continues saying, yes, Rex. With my numerous superior skills, I have no doubt I will be granted full membership. I'll be able to do a lot more good with such a large organization. But do not be so excited for me. This comes with sad news as well. I am disbanding the teen team in light of this situation. I cannot be on 2 teams at once and remain effective. Besides, the name would have become inaccurate in a couple of years anyway. Of course, this facility will always be open for your private use, and I will always assist you if I can. This is not the end. It is a beginning. Rex says, we totally understand, man. Come here, you bucket of bolts. I'm proud of you. Congratulations, Robot, says Eve. And Duplicate says, we'll miss you. Robot says, I will miss you all as well. We jump to someone's mansion, maybe? We see a butler coming in saying, your telephone. He's on hold, sir. Thank you, Sanford. Hello? Yes. I just wanted to see how things were coming along. Yes. 2 days. Safety testing? You don't understand what I'm going through here. I'm nothing without my powers. My life has gone to hell since I was negated. Do you realize the Guardians of the Globe revoked my membership? I'm completely useless to them. I need this suit. I've got to get back in the game. I've got to take back my life. Two days is like an eternity to me. Yes, fine. Take it away. Yes, sir, the butler says. Back with Mark, Williams saying, I don't understand what the big deal is. It was only a 40-minute drive. You're acting like you've never been on a long drive before. Well, we've got 10 minutes to get where we need to be. Where is it that we need to be? Mark asks. We're supposed to meet her at the admissions office, which is this way, I think. Lead the way. way, Mark says. Man, how come none of the high school girls are this hot? William says. At the admissions office, Mark and William arrive. Hi, I'm Mrs. Thatcher. I'm the orientation officer here at Upstate University. You must be Mark and William. Can I call you Will? No, William is fine. All right, then. Well, let's get started. I've got to pass you off to my assistant after 2. I wish I could show you the science lab, but it's still being repaired after the chemical fire we had a couple months back. Don't worry, though. If either of you do decide to enroll here, it will be back up and operational well before you would begin classes next fall. Through there, you can see what a typical classroom looks like. Now, if you'll just follow me through here, I'll show you the rest of this facility. If you have any questions, let me know. We jump back to nighttime in what looks to be London, but I'm not sure. We see a man walking his dog down the street, and we hear screeching or screaming as a huge bag lands next to the guy. And the guy says, "Hey, what? Burger Mart." This is the bag that Mark threw a couple issues back. He threw it while he was working at Burger Mart. I remember that. Okay, so we're jumping back to the university. Hi, I'm David, Mrs. Thatcher's assistant. You must be Mark and William. Do you prefer Bill? William, actually. Oh, okay. William, it is. This guy has a disgusted look on his face. Sorry, no need to apologize. Could have fooled me. So, it looks like William is pretty upset about that. He's balled up his fist and Mark holds him back. And he says, so, I hear you guys can seat 4,000 people in this area. Yes, actually, our facilities here are second to none. Calm down, man. I'm not pissed. It just really irks me that people think it's impossible that I would want to go by my given name. I mean, what's wrong with William? Oh, come on. Come on, Billy. It's not that big a deal. Oh, laugh it up, man. If you preferred Marcus, you'd be in the same boat as me. It's not even the fact that people apparently can't stand saying my full name that bugs me the most. The worst part is that if I correct people, then I'm the one being rude. I mean, there's no polite way to tell someone they're wrong. Then they think I'm some self-important jerk because I care about my name. It's a lose-lose situation that I'm thrown into all the time. So, Mark says, the dorms we're meeting this guy at are this way? I think so, yeah. Back at Mark's house, his parents are done doing the deed. And Nolan says, so, what do you say? Again? Oh, honey, you're an animal. I'll take that as a yes. And he whooshes away, leaving Debbie behind. And he comes back and says, you coming or not? You better get this super speed out of your system before, and he whooshes away. Sorry I'm late. I kinda fell asleep. You must be Mark Grayson and William Clockwell. I'm Rick Sheridan. I'll be showing you around a few of our dorm buildings. Can I call you Bill? Only if I can call you R. Sherry. Never mind. So what do you think? William says. I think you really came off like a jerk in there, and Rick seemed to be a really cool guy. See, I told you, but I meant about the school. Oh, I was pretty much decided before we even came here. It's got everything I'm going to need, and it's not too expensive, so my parents can easily afford it. And with my SAT scores, it'll be a breeze to get accepted. Unless something else comes up, this is the place. Yeah, I more or less just wanted to get the authorized day off from school. I don't know exactly what I want to do, so this is as good a place as any. At the very least, it'll keep me off the street. Mark says, cool then. We'll get to room together like we wanted to. This is going to be a hoot. Two chick magnets like us. This place will never be the same. Did you hear that? Let's see here. Doom nearby. Just then a robot busts through the wall next to them, surprising both of them, and Mark jumps over saying, William, take cover. Mark? I think he ran away. I think that's what happened. Hey, buddy, a cop says to the robot, hey, buddy, I don't know what you think you're, and just then the robot just straight kills him. Invincible comes back and says, everybody get out of his way. Hold it right there. This stops now. And the robot smacks him away. And he says, or not. Girl nearby screams, and Mark grabs the girl and says, I've got you. Another girl trips in front of the robot, and the girl says, oh God, as it's coming closer. And Invincible grabs her and says, geez, people, at least try to be a little careful. The robot jumps and looks like it gets zapped or something, or impaled, actually. And the girl says, he was lunging right at me. I don't think so. I think we were all just in his way. Is everyone all right? This man needs an ambulance, fast. When the ambulance gets there, Invincible asks, if everything's under control, I guess I'll be going now. And he leaves and promptly shows up as Mark and says, oh, William, thank God you're safe. I had to go and try and find help. And William says, yeah. Dude, why didn't you tell me you had superpowers? That was quick. Thanks for driving me. Well, we'll talk about this more later. Your secret's safe with me, pal. And inside you hear the thump of Mark closing the door, and Nolan, with his shirt off, clearly in the middle of having time with his wife, saying, crap, was that a car door? The wife says, huh? Mark says, I'm home. Holy crap, I am not prepared to deal with this tonight. I'll be upstairs until I move out. The parents were on the couch, dressed and looking perfectly normal. Don't know what set them off. And then Mark's mother looks down and sees that her shirt is on backwards. And she looks at Nolan and says, "You put it on backwards, you big oaf." Nolan says, "Sorry, I was in a hurry. I'm going to change." Nolan just laughs. Just then he gets a phone call, and he picks up saying, "Hello?" Back at the tailor shop, they're speaking with the tailor there, and he says, I was developing a suit that would restore Black Samson's powers. You knew about his incident, right?" "Yeah, the Guardians told me they had to let him go." "Well, apparently he wanted back in and contracted me to build him a super suit. Now it's gone. I didn't see who it was. They knocked me out before I even knew they had broken in. But it's not like I deal with supervillains, and this place isn't exactly common knowledge. And his suit was the only thing stolen. You're not saying..." "I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, I knew he was unstable, but I thought it was just the stress of losing his powers. He may very well have gone insane. All I know for sure is that someone who was crazy enough to break in here and rob me is roaming free out there in a suit that gives them the power to level cities. And it's my fault." Back at the team's place, Eve comes in and says, "Hello? Is anyone here?" She looks around and says, "No. No, 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 no." And she crawls into a fetal position in the corner. And that's where the issue ends. All right, guys. We're stopping there. Stay tuned for the next issue. As always, like and subscribe and leave a comment. It really supports the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.